Hello everyone. I have decided that I'm going to be reserving Fridays as my coronavirus update as well as just for current events. If you don't care about the coronavirus, then I wouldn't suggest watching this video. Most of the news is about it or, the effects of it. Anyway, so it's been a bit since I last talked about the coronavirus in a YouTube video. The total infected worldwide is now up to 597,267. 64,502 have been within the last 24 hours. Deaths are up to 27,365, with 3,273 being within the last 24 hours. In the US, we have 104,205 people infected with 18,691 within the last 24 hours. Also within the last 24 hours, we have had 401 deaths, bringing us to a total of 1,701 deaths. These numbers are starting to get exponentially higher just due to the number of people that have it. Please be aware that everyone needs to be conscious of what they are doing. If you can do anything to avoid being out, please do so. If you do catch this virus, seek help if you need to, but make sure you do not spread this virus to others. New York is now up to 46,262, gaining 7,285 cases within the last 24 hours. New Jersey is up to 8,825, with 1,949 being within the last 24 hours. California is up to 4,791, 706 being from the last 24 hours. The rest of the states have yet to break 4,000, but this doesn't mean we shouldn't do our part to slow the spread. Arizona is up to 665 cases, with 157 being within the last 24 hours. Now, you may have noticed that this is starting to get worse, and from what I am reading is that it may last for a while. The longer this lasts, obviously the higher these numbers will rise. That is why we need to do our part. The US is still maintaining only a 2% death rate for now, but this might go up or down in the future. Now on to more current event topics. I heard that the stimulus package bill finally passed and we're supposed to receive $1,200 based on our income from our 2019 or 2018 taxes if you haven't done your 2019 tax return. The amount of money is reduced if your annual earnings is above $75,000. Couples will receive $2,400 and you will receive $500 per child. The money is supposedly going to be sent out in 3 weeks, but we will see. Apparently, from the last stimulus package that came in 2008, it took 3 months. If you can, try to plan for this maximum time just in case. The money is supposed to be deposited directly into your account once they get everything squared away. There has been a lot of talk about the economy, and it's sitting in a weird place right now. Most businesses are closed, so they can't make money, but they might still be charged their usual rent. Just like us, businesses have to pay rent. Some of these businesses have already closed down, and some of them have no plans of reopening. This stimulus package is getting a lot of flack because it helps businesses, but think about this logically. If we don't have businesses, people don't have jobs. If there are no jobs, our society crumbles. Businesses didn't make a mistake here, just like we didn't make a mistake for not planning months ahead. Now, I want to bring up some things to think about. I am not trying to fearmonger, and I am not saying any of these things will actually happen. I am just trying to go over possibilities so that you guys know what to watch out for. Our economy can't necessarily handle being shut down like this for long. No one system really can. This brings us to a rock and a hard place situation, in my opinion. We can either continue this lockdown and hope it ends fast, and we can return to business as usual. If it doesn't, we might be looking at a Great Depression level problem. Our other option is we open back up for business and risk some people getting sick or dying so that our economy can continue. This, I feel, might be the more likely option because in a Great Depression, I feel more people would end up dying due to starvation, to crime, or just general depression and suicide. There is another option that I am not sure if enough people are talking about, though. We could potentially release the younger people with no health risks to go back to work so that it could slow the economy's collapse long enough for us to find a cure or a different solution. This option would allow these monthly or weekly payments to only have to go to a portion of the people who don't have the ability to safely return to work. Don't get me wrong, I know that anyone can get sick from this. This virus doesn't play favorites, but we all took history class. I would hope you all remember what the Great Depression was like. I would say it was one of the worst times in our country, and it lasted for 3.5 years. The only thing that pulled us out of it was World War II. I don't see a great war happening when all this is said and done, and I'm not sure if our weak-willed society could handle this kind of struggle. I'm not the person to decide that some people's lives may have to end for the greater good of our society, though, but at this time I don't see many options. You have deaths on one side and deaths on the other. I am very interested to see what choices the government decides to make in these coming weeks. I would suggest, if you don't already, find some people on YouTube that cover the news beyond me. Some of these guys have been doing it for years and they are a lot better at it than myself. Most news outlets are not doing well covering the reality that is happening right now. I am going to keep covering things that come up, and I might even increase how often I talk about them instead of covering the other subjects. It will all depend on what's happening. I still don't believe this is a time for panic. If anything, this is a time for calm, rational responses. We have never seen something like this in our time, so please bear with people who might think differently than you do. Everyone is going to have their opinion on the government leaders or the decisions that they're making. As I said in one of my other videos, now is not the time for political arguments. Now is the time to work on what is best for the American people and for the people of the world. That is all I feel is important for us to cover right now. There are a lot of rumors and stories going around that are untrue or misleading, so be very careful about trusting things from a single source. In all my time of watching the news online, I have learned that you should have multiple people that you follow because some of them might be a little bit out there. Please try to stay aware of what is going on around you. If you are continuing to work, of course try not to spread or catch the virus. I know that is a lot to ask, but that is really all we can do right now. If you enjoyed this content, or if you'd like to see more of the content I prefer making, that being the subjects that people fear, please subscribe. This will allow me to work on the channel. The more people I have watching, it will allow me to start investing money into this channel. I wanted to get a face cam of some kind, and I would like to provide a music track in the background of my videos, but I don't have the money for that kind of thing, especially at a time like this. I know my voice is pretty great and all, but we all know that listening to someone talk for 5 or 10 minutes can get dull. It would also assist me in achieving what I would like for this channel, to be able to reach people that don't have a support system like family or friends. Anyway, as always, remember to be careful but not scared.